Let me tell you about a little spell called Teleport. For many years, it lay unchanged in League of Legends, and then recently, Riot reworked it in a major way. Now, people are scrambling to figure out if everything is still okay, or if this might have a massive domino effect on how pretty much the entire game is played. And some people are not happy about that. Let me show you why. Alright, before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to theScore Esports if you don't want to miss videos just like this one. We are going to be doing more weekly Don't At Me League videos just like this, so if that's your thing, make sure you subscribed and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Alright, first off, I just want to say that I got a few comments on the ChemTech video I did before Christmas where people were like, whoa, relax, alright, relax. There's plenty of time left in pre-season for Riot to fix things. I'm sure they're going to make things better. Well, Happy New Year. They did cool. So yeah, Riot had over a month to make significant changes to ChemTech. They said they were open to big changes, but apparently ChemTech is working as intended. We'll have to see how it all pans out in pro play. But look, as bullshit as ChemTech seems to be, at least teams have seen this coming from quite a way off. But there's one change that they'll certainly not have time to play around with or scrim other teams with: the new teleport changes. Now I know changes to a summoner spell might not sound quite as sexy as a ChemTech dragon f***ing up the entire game, but bear with me. Basically, the new teleport can only be used on allied towers and not minions, wards, or ally objects like Teemo's Shrooms or Jarvan's Lance. It also has a cooldown of 360 seconds at all levels, as opposed to the cooldown decreasing with levels like before. Then, when tower plating falls at 14 minutes, your teleport becomes Unleashed Teleport, which is basically the same as the old teleport. You can teleport to all the stuff that you used to be able to, except it has a flat cooldown of 240 seconds at all levels. So basically, for most of the early game, you've got a Walmart version of teleport, which means you can only teleport to towers. Now, we've known about these changes for over a month now, but since they went live on Friday, old habits have been dying hard.
Hello? Why can't I TP? What is going on? Oh, they changed it.
Now, if you're the kind of person that dips into League once every month or so, then first of all, well done, seriously. But you may be wondering, how will this affect the game and why have Riot made these changes? Well, in the early game, there'll be no more stacking a wave by teleporting to your last minion. You won't be able to stabilize a lane so easily if you get killed early. And perhaps the most important change for bot laners, you won't be able to flank them at level 6 with a well-timed teleport. And that's huge, honestly. For as long as I've played the game, the early bot lane teleport flank has been a staple of the game. As a jungler, I'd often find myself pathing bot just to try and counter the enemy Scion that is about to run over my bot lane because they didn't clear a teleport ward behind them. I found a top or mid laner turning up to these fights and then converting it into an early dragon to be interesting. It was usually the first bit of team play you actually got to experience before the mid game. So personally, my initial reaction when the news first dropped was, they're going to remove a bit of excitement from the early game. It was mad at times, it was messy, but it was fun. But I'm not an AD carry main. Early teleport flanks have been the bane of their existence for years at this point, and these changes may actually finally give them some breathing room.
The TP changes, huge for me playing bot lane, by the way. Huge, because I get f***ing TP'd on all game. People are f***ing, is T1 fighting? Is T1 fighting? T1 fight, TP! And then my laners are f***ing, enemy laner TP'd, I'm gonna TP 20 seconds later, and then they fail TP.
They still can't TP flank, by the way. Oh my god, this is actually bliss. I think I'm creaming my pants.
Double Lift raises a good point on his stream, which is that players have just got too good at utilizing teleport to the point where it's become more than just a good way to get back to your lane. A good teleport to bot lane can pretty much win or lose you the entire game. At least that's what it feels like. In pro play, this concept has become so important that it's reached pretty absurd levels in recent years. Does anyone remember this absolute fiesta from last year?
Waze coming in, he'll be the first to arrive. Does have a level advantage. Barrel's gonna be jumped on first. But a TP showing up. It's TPs from everybody, baby. Waze running away here with about 200 HP. Khan shows up. Showmaker's ready to go now as well. Everybody's joined the bottom lane party.
One of the criticisms of this change is that it makes the game more flat, more predictable, that it removes a pretty big dimension of the early game. But that's something that Doublelift straight up disagrees with.
It becomes the most one-dimensional summoner spell in the game. Seems odd. Not really, no. The thing about TP now is like you can still use it in ways that, in some ways that you were going to be able to before. Like for example, pre-14 minutes you can use it to get drag or herald. Pre-14 minutes you can use it to defend your teammates on a dive. You cannot use it offensively to set up a dive, but you can use it defensively to defend one. There's still a lot of ways to use TP to your team's advantage. I think people will get creative.
Look, it's obvious something has been lost from the game here. Things aren't going to be the same anymore. But even if we have lost one dimension, doesn't mean these changes won't create whole new ones. What will the bot lane look like now that AD carries don't have to worry about being slapped by an Aurelia at the 10-minute mark? Will they play more aggressively? As a viewer, it could be interesting to see a bot lane that's more of a true 2v2, where people aren't playing scared and are more willing to take trades. But even if you can push an enemy bot lane under their turret more easily, you won't be able to dive them as well as before because A, your teleporting ally won't have a minion to teleport to before 14 minutes, and B, their teleporting ally can just TP to the turret and defend. And see, that is interesting. I have no idea what that could mean for the bot lane meta. And don't forget about how this might shape top lane. With teleport being a weaker summoner spell, it might open the door for more ignite or ghost picks. And these combat summoners could make top lane a more bloody place to be. Safer laners who relied on teleporting back to a stacked wave for a free back could find life a lot more difficult these days compared to their ghost or ignite opponents. That doesn't mean that teleport is completely shit though. We have to remember, it's still the same summoner as it was after the 14-minute mark. The LPL started yesterday and every top laner that day still chose teleport in all 5 of the games that were played. It's not like it's suddenly trash. And we still saw a party in the bot lane with a flank TP. It just happened after the 14-minute mark, like right after.
Another Scout of the Week hits, could just be Burst.
Oh, nice Cataclysm, flash away from LWX, back up off a cooldown. So Mega Death Rocket almost does the job, but there's the package into the middle. Gory doesn't connect it though, really, as the Flake comes through with the box down as well, but FPX all winning the fight. That's the TP advantage. At work, 2 members already dead, way under turret. Sonic Wade with a huge kick not even needed.
Perhaps teams are still learning how to play without teleport, and the changes in pro play won't happen until further down the line. I kind of like the fact that essentially one tiny change, stopping players from teleporting to minions or wards before 14 minutes, might have this insane ripple effect that decides champion and playstyle metas for the foreseeable future. It's cool. I think there's a natural bias to say that these kinds of changes make the game less dimensional, but that might be because we haven't had a chance to see yet what kind of unforeseeable dimension this change might bring about. I've no doubt that some pro players will have messed around with these changes on the public test server, but I doubt that many pro teams will have had a chance to scrim with it yet, so as pro games start up again, the question is, will the meta have shifted because of these teleport changes, and if so, who's going to figure it out first? This is normally the point in the video where I talk about what else there is in the patch, but honestly, there's not that much. It's kind of mad. We've got 4 champion tweaks, a couple of system changes, and some new items that don't seem to have pissed off too many people yet, but the teleport changes really are the main headline here. And obviously Chemtech, but we're done talking about that for now. Happy Season 12 to you all. Good luck with the grind. Go and unleash some teleports and let me know if these changes have made the game 1,000 times worse, 1,000 times better, or maybe just somewhere in between. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel if you want to miss videos like this. It really helps us out. Yeah. And if you are enjoying this video, make sure you leave it a like. Leave a like, it helps us out. We really appreciate it. Bless you. I'm not saying bless you, actually. I've never actually blessed someone in my life. That's mad. What am I doing?